When you think about the life cycle of an opportunity that you're working on at the moment, the most important activities and the most important part of the process that you're running is the discovery. Now, as it's well known, and most of the literature talks about this, is that most of the emotional purchasing of your product happens in the way that you conduct a discovery and the questions that you ask. This is what helps the prospect think about things in a different way, understand they've got a problem or challenge, which is obviously page 1, chapter 1 of discovery, but also creates the urgency and the action to move. So let's talk a little bit about this. There's a perception in selling that the discovery stage is only beneficial for the salesperson or the organization that's selling. Actually, there's real deep value that the prospect gets from running a discovery. And this is so obvious when you think about the fact that often businesses will pay millions and millions of pounds or dollars for an external consultant to come in and tell them what their problem is. So let's talk about exactly what they get when it comes to value when you run a discovery. Now, obviously, there is value that we get as salespeople. Firstly, we can qualify if there's a good fit for what we do and what they're looking to buy. It helps us understand their challenges, their needs, their objectives, etc. That's pretty simple. We start to learn exactly what we may sell them, right? So this is about understanding the capabilities of what they need and how our product can solve those. But we also gain a wider context about their people, business, industry, market, and how they've tried to actually address these issues in the past. But here's the part that I want to concentrate on. There's immense value in the discovery stage for your prospects. First of all, they learn about and validate their own problems and the root causes of those problems. So what the actual real pain is, but what's causing that pain as well. On top of that, they learn about what happens if they don't address these issues. So we can give them a ton of insight into, if left unresolved, what the outcomes are of not solving a problem. The implications, to use spin as an example. They learn how others with similar problems have tried to solve this in the past. And also, this is a crucial one. They learn if and why they should prioritize solving these problems against other initiatives that they might be running in the business or other problems that they're looking to solve. This is a real interesting one for us, and you would have seen this where people come back to you in a deal and say, actually, we've got other things that we're addressing at the moment. The discovery stage helped them understand that, no, they should be focusing on this. And also, there's a ton of insight and emerging trends that they get through the discovery stage that helps them understand not just their problem, but other problems that might come up as well. This should cause a really important mindset shift in the salesperson. Because as it stands at the moment, many salespeople see the discovery stage as a means to an end. So then you start seeing the behaviors that creep out the back of that, which might be, well, I ask the same 6 questions to every customer just to get through it. Or they become very apologetic about the discovery stage, saying, oh, sorry, I've got to ask these questions. In actuality, we should spend far more time there diagnosing the problem and educating the customer through the questions that we ask, because they get immense value from it. So the mindset shift I'm always looking for is when salespeople start seeing the discovery stage as a value add versus just an important part of their sales process. But here's a question. How do you know if you've done a bad discovery? What are the symptoms or what are the outcomes that you will see if you've missed something or done something wrong in your discovery? Well, let's take a moment to go through those. Now, I'm pretty confident all of these will resonate with anyone watching this video, because these are real common symptoms that you see when you've run a bad discovery. The first one is that the product is perceived to be a nice to have versus a must have. Our champion is struggling to get buy-in or budget internally. Our prospect perceives the status quo to be easier, less risky and more attractive. We do a generic demo hoping that some of the features will land. It's the classic case of throw enough shit at the wall and some of it will stick. Problem is, you've still got a wall covered in shit. We don't know ultimately what the actual solution is. Again, this is a classic sign of not really effectively running the discovery. We try to sell them something but a heavily discounted rate. Our pricing will always appear expensive as they haven't got the notion of value to offset it against. The prospect leaves the meeting feeling they may be able to solve this problem themselves. And lastly, prospects disengage from the interaction altogether, or ghosting, to use a parlance of our times. Now, looking at this list here, all of these should resonate with us, because these are common symptoms of running an ineffective discovery and not taking the time to really add value in that process as well.